Right, so where are we?
We are in Holt, Florida, basically near Crestview and north of Destin.
Hey folks, so I thought I would take a couple minutes here and just talk about the process that we did and kind of a little bit about getting our domicile or making Florida our domicile from moving from Virginia to Florida and why we chose that, and just a little bit about that. Make a couple notes here.
All right, so today is a big day for us. It's hopefully getting the new tow vehicle and our motorhome, get it all titled and registered and all that stuff in Florida, changing our domicile here.
Just if in case some of those that don't exactly understand what I'm talking about, a domicile, really I saw someone talk about it as the place intended that you would call home. So wherever you would call that. I mean, we're full-time RVers on the road, so our rig is our home, like a lot of other people, but you still have to have a place that you would be connected to a state, for your tax stuff, for your voting, your driver's license, registration, all that kind of stuff still has to be attached to your home. When we made it back to Florida, from being out west, we came in and we were all excited to get our rig registered and everything. And we went online to make our appointment and found that, which I probably already should have known, this is pretty common, that it was at least a month plus out. And we did not have anywhere to stay for a month there in the Crestview area. We did find a campground, Eagles Landing, I believe is called. I'll double check that, but it's in Holt, Florida, which is about 20 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes, right off I-10, down west of Crestview. Really nice campground. Check it out if you're ever in the area, but we were able to go in there and stay there. And that's where it was as close as we could get, right, to get into Crestview and get that swap happening. But we also, what saved us was we were found out, and it had been just recently that they were starting to allow walk-ins. It was a bit of a challenge because you had to wait in line just to get a number, to wait in line to actually see an agent. But all things considered, the process wasn't that bad. And I think in about 2.5, 3 hours, we were all done, and that's not bad. I'm not complaining considering we didn't have an appointment. We were still going to have to wait another 2.5, 3 weeks out. So,
like, we're at Florida residence.
Woohoo!
What?
Finally got some legit going on. Legit, official Floridians now.
6 months, 8 months into our
eight
life.
months in, went from Virginians to Floridians.
Nice.
It happens. So
It's done.
let's go get something to eat.
Yes.
Just make sure you have all your paperwork, all the things that you need. There's a list on the Virginia, that's where we're from, but the Florida website has a list of what all you'll need, and to make sure you have your ducks in a row before you go. One of those the Florida requires is to have a VIN verification. So you can bring your vehicle to the DMV or the tax collector's office there and have it physically checked by one of their agents, or you can print the form out online for free and all that. And then have either a sheriff's office or authority like that. There's a list of them, but that will actually come out to you and do the VIN verification. So in our case, I didn't want to take the rig in and the car, our tow behind car and all that there. It was just too much of a hassle. So we actually had the sheriff's office come out. I just made a phone call. They, within a quick time, had a deputy come out to our spot here in Crestview, and we had that done.
So we had to get our VIN verified in order to do that. So the sheriff's office is here checking all the VINs on both vehicles, and then once we get the okay, we'll head to the DMV, hopefully get all the paperwork done. That's the plan.
So of course it always turns heads when you have the sheriffs show up at your rig. What have you done now? So in this case, we hadn't done anything too significant. I'm just kidding. We hadn't. It was just a matter of him going through And it's a common practice, but it was really easy, really flawless. It was super nice, and it worked out really well. I just took the forms in with us, and it was great. We are actually sitting in the car at the DMV office trying to get some stuff registered and things and so on. It was relatively smooth. I was personally surprised. I don't know what I was expecting. I guess anytime you have visit DMV, you just never really know, especially when we're doing a full changeover of IDs, registration, because the registration of the motorhome and the car was new from having a bill of sale, but it was just really flawless, and it was worked out great. So I'm really grateful about that. Victor, when he was able to get his ID, his learner's permit here in Florida, which that's something that we didn't realize was one of the benefits coming from Virginia to Florida, was he was able to get his learner's permit sooner at age 15. So we're trying to figure out if he's ready for this. He just crushed a huge thing today.
Yep.
What'd you get?
I am officially a Florida learner's
driver. Just got his learner's permit, so it's a big day. Whoop! Shout out to him. He worked hard to get it. He was pretty excited about that. He was able to do his driver's course, his pre-driver's training online. We actually did that, or he did that and worked on that while we were traveling from Arizona back east here to Florida. So he was able to get his learner's permit and start the driving process, which that's exciting and scary for us as parents, but that's part of the journey for him and for us, and it's pretty cool. So I'm getting encouraged enough to get him in the driver's seat. So we will see how this goes.
Front seat.
Gotta get your seat. Here you go. How'd that feel?
This is a bizarre feeling.
What?
I'm not used to being in the front seat.
I'm not used to you being in the driver's seat. What's the first thing you do when you get in the car? Hey, you got it.
Wow.
Alright, you got it. That's how you do
I
it.
didn't die.
We didn't die, so it's a good day. So far, so good. Nerve-wracking, so I'll be your line if my heart isn't racing a little bit. Keep my life
Mine's
lasting.
not racing. Mine's trying to kill me.
No, you're good. Just breathe deep. All right, your first drive. What happened?
Yeah. A little scary.
You're good. You did good though. Give yourself some credit.
My heart's racing.
It's not going to really get into what's the best state. There's different states, there's different possible reasons. What would be best for you? I think though in the RV community, we've learned and seen that really, as far as easeability and for the most part, and on some of those things are why kind of the three big states that come up is Florida, South Dakota, and Texas. Now, each one of those has different reasons, but without getting into each one, you can look it up and you can do your research and see what would be best for you. We chose Florida, for different reasons. One is because we really like the state. We just really like Florida, and we had family and friends down there, and we see ourselves going back there a lot. And so it was just the best move for us. So that was the reason why we went with Florida as our domicile. What creates a domicile, you need to have a physical address in a way that you can connect there to the state. So a lot of companies have opportunities like mail services and things like that that will give you the opportunity to have a physical address that you can use for the domicile. And the state tends to work with that pretty easily. So for us, there's different companies out there. For us, after doing some research, whatever, we chose to go with what's called My RV Mail. Here's their flyer. And so they are actually, their home base or their place there is in Crestview, Florida. So, which is Crestview, if you're not familiar, it's not too far off I-10. It's about 30 minutes east of Pensacola, and I would say about 30-40 minutes north of Destin. So it's a pretty area. We really like the area, and so we thought, let's go with it. Crestview is a little bit more rural, if you will. And so as far as just getting in, I just personally, we found it a little easier to get into the DMV or the tax collector's offices there, because they both will do the licensing and so on. So if you have any questions about that, drop it in the comments below, and we'll try to answer those from our experience anyway that we've learned.
I've been working on my bike because I popped my back tire. And I just learned how to take my back tire off without ruining like any of the chains or stuff. Then all I gotta do is get the inner tube and put my tire back on and then just pump it up. I still gotta learn how to put it back on, but I'll figure it out. Got the inner tube, gonna put it on my tire and go on a ride.